Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again, Portfolio Official YouTube channel. So guys, cultism is a major vice which is common in tertiary institutions in Nigeria today. Cultism itself, according to history, started for a good cause but changed over time. Cultism is defined as the activities or practices of a group of people with common spiritual, religious or philosophical belief. The group of individuals involved in these practices is known as cults. Most cults are referred to secret cults. They are called secret cults because their activities and practices are hidden from the public and non-members. Members of these secret cults swear an oath of allegiance or go into covenants with each other. They are meant to defend their beliefs and practices to their very last breath. Cultism in Nigeria began as far back as 1952. It started out of fraternities and they were codified with the university campuses with the motive of maintaining law and order on campus. It was until the 1990s that they began spreading out to the streets and creeks. The first fraternity in Nigeria was the Pirates Confraternity at the University College of Ibadan. The Pirates Confraternity was started by 7 students, among which was the popular Nigerian novel literature winner, Professor Wole Soyinka. They called themselves the Magnificent Seven. The confraternity was filled with wealthy students backed by colonial powers. The few poor students were doing everything they could in dressing and manner to blend with the advantaged students. They also noticed that the social life was determined based on tribalism and nepotism. All these prompted the Magnificent Seven to form the Pirates Confraternity, and their goal was to differentiate themselves from the conventional establishment and also to support social justice and human rights in Nigeria. The Pirates Confraternity activities were non-violent dispute resolutions and fighting against illicit nonsense and pretenses. The motto of the confraternity was against all conventions. Their logo was a skull and 2 crossbones. Some members of the confraternity gave themselves some nicknames. The confraternity membership was made open to any promising male student irrespective of the race or tribe. Although applications and selections were rigid and many students were denied. For almost 20 years, the Pirates Confraternity was the only fraternity in most Nigerian universities. By the early 1970s, other fraternities began to spring up as a result of leadership tussle among members of the previous confraternity. One of them was the Buccaneers, which was formed in 1972 by a former member of the Pirates Confraternity. The Buccaneers was established by Dr. Bolaji Kari after he was expelled from the Pirates Confraternity for not following their teachings. Another early fraternity founded in Nigeria is the Supreme Iye Confraternity. It also started at the University of Ibadan and was later registered as a cultural association. The Confraternity of Iye, which means bird in the Yoruba language, was known as the National Association of Air Lords. Their objective was to preserve Yoruba culture. Every member of their confraternity gave themselves names of birds. After the emergence of the Buccaneers Confraternity, another fraternity known as the Neo-Black Movement of Africa, aka Black Arts, was founded at the University of Benin. This was the beginning of violence in Nigeria. Other confraternities began to emerge. Another group known as the Eternal Fraternal Order of the Legion Cornerstone, aka Clan Confraternity, was founded in the University of Calabar. This was followed by the emergence of Supreme Vikings Confraternity in 1984. During this period, the new cult groups in Nigeria began to introduce new traditions into fraternities. Before they would go out for any activity, they would practice some voodoo rituals. As time went on, these confraternities founded their way into politics. During the period of the 1980s and 1990s, under the military rule of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, these cult groups became notorious following the coup organized by the General Ibrahim Babangida, which led to a lot of political tension. Fraternities were used by military leaders as a check on university staff and student union. The cult group were presented with money and weapons. These weapons was eventually used in deadly interconfraternity rivalries. In the early 1990s, activities of these confraternities expanded to the streets and creeks. Different confraternities were involved in bloody battle for supremacy. It was around this time that the family confraternity, also known as the Mafia of Campus Mafia, emerged. As time went on and the emergence of democratic rule, most of the on-campus confraternities began to move out of the campus. This was a movement planned to end cultism. Amnesty was granted to every cultist member who decided to renounce their membership. Cult groups have moved their meetings and other practices to neighborhoods and streets around their campuses. Although it seemed to move and was effective for a while, cult groups soon resumed their activities on campuses This was because the university authorities and the government could not provide security personnel enough facilities to tackle cultism on campus. After some renowned cultists became vulnerable to attacks from rival groups who knew their identity, some of them decided to return to groups of protection. Cultism in Nigeria became established in both campus and off campuses. Another cult group emerged in Enugu State University of Science and Technology called the Brotherhood of Blood. From there, numerous cult groups also emerged. Some of them are Black Scorpion, Dreaded Friend of Friends, Eagle Club, Executioners, Fame of Friends, Gentlemen Club, Mba Brothers, Red Seahorse, Second Sons of Satan (SSS), Temple of Eden, Trojan Horse, and many more. Cult groups in Nigeria were involved in a lot of criminal activities and deaths. They have been involved in different kidnappings and beating of lecturers who crossed their path. Some lecturers and other individuals have been dealt with by cult groups for stealing a cult member's girlfriend or sugar daddy in the case of female cult groups. Some were involved in cyber crimes and rape. Cult activities in Nigeria today is slowly on the increase, although the government is doing all they could to tackle it, but their effort is not enough because of political and socio-economic instability, which is disturbing the country. But the activities of these cult members are still in secret, so they are still regarded as secret cult. So guys, joining a cult group or becoming a cultist is something you may not want. It's something you may not want to do. Although there may be serious advantages attached to it, it's left for you to decide. So if you feel like there is anything wrong with the video or there is something I omitted in narrating the history of cultism in Nigerian universities, kindly keep your comments on the comment section and we'll address them. Also on the comment section, keep your comments on how you feel about the way cultists behave in Nigeria and the activities in Nigerian universities. Keep your comments on the comment section, and if you're a student watching this video, on the comment section, kindly keep your comments to let us know the activities of these cult groups in your school. It will entail on our next video, which we drop 10 hours from this one. So drop your comments on the comment section. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to this channel and like this video if this video engaged you. So guys, see you on my next video.